August 9th, 2023, 4:17 p.m. Zaporizhzhia Oblast, 68 kilometers behind Russian front lines. One M982 Excalibur artillery shell fires from Ukrainian M777 howitzer. GPS-guided, 150 mm Misa. Weight 48 kilograms. Flight time to target approximately 90 seconds. Target Russian ammunition depot. Estimated value 12 million in artillery shells, rockets and explosives. At 4:18:47 p.m. the Excalibur impacts. Circular error probable 2 meters. Actual impact direct hit on primary storage building. Secondary explosions begin immediately. Ammunition depot destroyed completely. Estimated Russian loss 12 million DOS. Ukrainian expenditure $112,000 precision shell. Cost exchange ratio 107.1 in Ukraine's favor. This is MilFront. And what just happened isn't isolated success. It's representative of artillery warfare revolution, where precision replaces mass, where single shells destroy targets that previously required dozens, where 70-kilometer range changes what rear area means, where defenders can strike logistics nodes that attackers assumed were safe. The question isn't whether Excalibur works. Direct hit on ammunition depot proves that. The question is whether precision-guided artillery represents sustainable warfare model or temporary capability limited by ammunition costs and availability, and whether Russia can adapt to threat environment where their logistics infrastructure is perpetually vulnerable to pinpoint strikes from distances they can't effectively counter. Official Ukrainian statements about Excalibur employment. Vague. Successful strikes on high-value targets. No specifics on quantities. No details on expenditure rates. Operational security. Don't tell Russians how many precision shells remain. Don't reveal targeting priorities. Just acknowledge general capability exists. Russian response, initial denial. Then acknowledgement with minimization. Limited impact. Then tactical adaptation. Moving depots back. Dispersing ammunition. Hardening facilities. Each adaptation imposes cost, reduces efficiency, degrades logistics capability even without additional strikes. The threat of Excalibur changes operations as much as actual employment. Stay with me, because the detail that explains Excalibur's strategic impact, why precision matters more than volume in modern artillery warfare, is going to show you that warfare evolution isn't always about new weapons. Sometimes it's about applying old concepts with new technology. Artillery has existed for centuries. Precision guidance is decades old. Combining them creates capability that fundamentally changes battlefield dynamics. Let's establish what Excalibur actually is. The technology, the capability, the constraints. M982 Excalibur, American precision-guided artillery projectile. Raytheon production. Development 1990s, 2000s. Deployment 2007. Combat proven in Iraq and Afghanistan. Mature technology. Not experimental. Not cutting edge. Just solid precision capability integrated into standard artillery. Technical specifications 155mm caliber. Compatible with M777 howitzer, M109 Paladin and other NATO 155mm systems. Length 1 meter, weight 48 kilograms. Guidance GPS-INS, global positioning system with inertial navigation system backup. Control, canards on no section make flight path corrections. Range 40-70 kilometers depending on charge and conditions. Accuracy, circular error probable under 2 meters, meaning 50% of rounds land within 2 meter radius of aim point. In practice, direct hits are common. Can target specific buildings, specific vehicles, specific coordinates with building level precision from dozens of kilometers away. Cost approximately $112,000 per round. Expensive compared to standard ammunition, but cost per successful strike matters more than cost per round. If one Excalibur destroys target that would require 50 conventional shells at $2,000 each, then Excalibur is cheaper. $112,000 versus $100,000 plus reduced collateral damage and immediate effect. Operational advantages:
Range exceeds Russian counter-battery capability. Can strike targets 60-70 kilometers away. Russian forces can't effectively respond. Can't locate firing position. Can't return fire. Artillery becomes one-way street. Ukraine strikes. Russia absorbs. Fundamental shift in artillery dynamics. Targeting flexibility can hit point targets. Ammunition depots. Command posts. Communication nodes. Conventional artillery requires area targeting. Hope something in impact zone gets hit. Excalibur guarantees specific target gets hit. Changes what's economically viable to target. Ukraine received Excalibur shells in multiple deliveries. First batch, 2022. Subsequent deliveries, undisclosed. Total inventory, classified but estimated in hundreds to low thousands. Not unlimited. Must be used judiciously. High-value targets only. Can't waste precision shells on low-value targets. Every round is strategic decision. This scarcity is critical constraint. Excalibur enables capabilities conventional artillery can't match, but availability limits employment. Ukrainian artillery must choose. Use precision shell for guaranteed hit-on, high-value target, or use conventional shells for lower probability hits on lower-value targets. Resource allocation becomes complex optimization problem. August 9th. The strike. What led to one shell destroying 12 million depot? Ukrainian intelligence identifies Russian ammunition depot. Satellite imagery confirms location. Signal intelligence tracks supply convoys arriving. Pattern analysis determines depot is active, significant, vulnerable. Targeting decision, worth Excalibur round. Expected value exceeds cost. Artillery calculation, range to target 68 kilometers. M777 maximum range with standard ammunition, 24 kilometers. With rocket-assisted projectiles, 30 kilometers. Insufficient. Target either use Excalibur or don't strike. Decision strike. Target value justifies precision round expenditure. 4:15 p.m. M777 crew receives fire mission. Target coordinates. Weapon selection. Excalibur. They program GPS coordinates into shell's guidance system. Input target location. Elevation. Azimuth. Charge. Everything calculated. Shell is loaded. Ready to fire. 4:17 p.m. Launch. Howitzer fires. Shell exits barrel. Canards deploy. GPS guidance activates. Shell begins correcting trajectory mid-flight. Minor adjustments. Compensating for wind. Air density. All calculated automatically. No operator input needed once fired. True fire and forget capability. Russian ammunition depot, standard security. Perimeter guards. Some camouflage. But no hardening. Why would there be? Depot is 68 kilometers from front. Beyond Ukrainian conventional artillery range. Beyond tube artillery range. Beyond rocket artillery range. Should be safe. That assumption is wrong. 4:18 p.m. Excalibur terminal phase. Descending toward target. GPS confirms position. Canards make final corrections. Aiming for specific building within depot complex. Main ammunition storage. Where artillery shells and rockets are concentrated. Maximum effect target. Russian personnel. No warning. No alert. Depot operations continue normally. Some soldiers loading trucks. Some conducting inventory. Some resting. None expect incoming artillery. Not here. Not this far back. Assumption of safety is complete. And fatal. 4:18:47 p.m. Impact. Direct hit. Building roof penetrated. Warhead detonates inside structure. Among stored ammunition. Secondary explosions begin instantly. Artillery shells cooking off. Rockets detonating. Explosives sympathetically detonating. Chain reaction through entire depot. Everything explodes. Nothing salvageable. Casualties, estimates vary. Approximately 15 to 25 Russian soldiers killed. 30-40 wounded. Exact numbers unknown.
Russia doesn't publish precise casualty figures, but damage is undeniable. Satellite imagery confirms depot destruction. No operational capability remains. Strategic impact. Local Russian units lose ammunition supply. Artillery fire rates decrease. Operations constrained. Ground forces have less fire support. This continues until logistics network reconstitutes alternative supply route. Takes days, sometimes weeks. One shell created operational impact lasting beyond immediate destruction. Russian adaptation begins. Intelligence determines depot was hit by precision strike. Not lucky conventional artillery hit. Deliberate precision engagement. That means Ukrainian forces have precision capability, extended range. That means all rear areas those are vulnerable. That changes everything about Russian logistics planning. Within a week of August 9th strike, Russian forces begin moving ammunition depots back. From 60-70 kilometers behind lines to 80-90 kilometers. Beyond estimated Excalibur range. Smart adaptation. Except it imposes cost. Longer supply route.
More transportation required. More fuel consumed. More time. All reduce operational efficiency. The threat of Excalibur forces adaptation that degrades capability even without additional strikes. Russian forces also disperse ammunition. Instead of large centralized depots, create multiple smaller caches. Reduces catastrophic loss from single strike, but increases logistics complexity. More sites to guard. More transportation routes. More management overhead. Again, adaptation costs efficiency. Some Russian forces attempt hardening, build overhead cover, reinforce structures, dig in. But hardening against GPS-guided shells is difficult. Excalibur penetrates standard overhead protection, would need serious bunker construction. That takes time, materials, and engineering capacity that Russian forces lack. So hardening is incomplete, provides psychological comfort more than actual protection. None of these adaptations solve fundamental problem. Ukrainian forces can strike precision targets at 70 kilometers. Russian forces can't effectively respond. Can't suppress Ukrainian artillery at that range. Can't counter battery fire effectively. Can't intercept Excalibur rounds in flight. Can only adapt logistics to reduce vulnerability. But adaptation costs operational tempo. Now the strategic analysis. What Excalibur means for artillery warfare evolution. Traditional artillery warfare, volume, mass fires, suppress areas, hope enough shells land on target. Probability-based effectiveness. Need many rounds for reliable effect. This creates specific dynamics. Must have large ammunition stocks. Must position artillery in range of targets. Must accept counter-battery vulnerability. Must saturate areas because precision is impossible. Precision artillery warfare, selective fires. Engage specific targets. Guarantee hits with minimal ammunition. Deterministic effectiveness. Need few rounds for reliable effect. This creates different dynamics. Ammunition stocks less critical. Can position artillery beyond enemy counter-battery range. Accept minimal counter-battery vulnerability. Must prioritize targets carefully because ammunition is expensive. The transition from volume to precision is paradigm shift. Like air warfare transition from carpet bombing to precision-guided munitions. Same fundamental change. Mass becomes obsolete. Efficiency becomes paramount. Cost effectiveness measured per successful strike, not per round fired. But transition is incomplete. Ukraine doesn't have unlimited Excalibur rounds. Must still employ conventional artillery for most missions. Excalibur reserved for high-value targets where precision justifies cost. Mixed employment. Precision for critical targets. Mass for suppression. This hybrid approach represents current state of artillery evolution. Not fully transitioned, but directional trend is clear. Russian response demonstrates recognition. They're adapting to precision threat, moving logistics back. Dispersing storage. Acknowledging that rear areas aren't safe anymore, but they're not fielding equivalent precision capability at scale. Krasnopol laser-guided projectiles exist but require forward observers and have shorter range. No GPS-guided equivalent to Excalibur operational in significant quantities. This asymmetry is strategic advantage. Ukraine can strike precisely at long range. Russia can't reciprocate. Creates operational freedom. Ukrainian logistics can be more concentrated because Russian precision threat is limited. Russian logistics must be dispersed because Ukrainian precision threat is significant. The asymmetry compounds across entire operational depth. 3 questions from the beginning. Time to answer them. Does precision-guided artillery represent sustainable warfare model? Partially. For high-value targets, yes. Cost-effectiveness favors precision when targeting expensive assets like ammunition depots, command posts, key infrastructure. But precision ammunition is expensive and limited. Can't replace conventional artillery entirely. Sustainable model is hybrid. Precision for critical targets, conventional for mass fires. That hybrid is emerging as standard doctrine. Is this temporary capability limited by costs and availability? Yes. Ukraine's Excalibur inventory is finite. Western production can't instantly replace combat expenditure. Must prioritize targets carefully. As precision rounds deplete, employment becomes increasingly selective. Already happening. Early war saw more liberal Excalibur use, now reserved for highest value targets. Cost and availability constraints are real and binding. Can Russia adapt to eliminate vulnerability? No, not eliminate, but can reduce. Moving logistics back reduces exposure. Dispersing reduces catastrophic losses. Hardening reduces damage. But these adaptations cost efficiency. Slower logistics. More complex supply chains. Reduced operational tempo. The adaptation itself is strategic success for Ukraine. Forces Russia to operate less efficiently, even without destroying all their logistics infrastructure. The lesson from Excalibur employment is that precision changes warfare economics. Makes defending expensive assets economically favorable. Makes concentrating logistics economically disadvantageous. Forces dispersal, movement, hardening, all costly adaptations. The precision weapon's strategic value includes forcing enemy adaptation as much as destroying enemy assets. This isn't theoretical. Russian logistics operations are measurably less efficient than 2022. Part is attrition, part is Ukrainian strikes, part is adaptation to precision threat. All compound into degraded capability. Russian artillery has less ammunition forward, fires less frequently, supports ground operations less effectively. Not because they lack guns, because logistics to sustain those guns is constrained by precision strike threat. This is MilFront. We analyze the battles that change wars, and Excalibur changed how Russia conducts logistics in Ukraine. Forced adaptations, imposed costs, degraded capability. Not through destroying everything, through destroying enough things precisely enough that threat of destruction forces systemic changes. That strategic impact beyond tactical successes. The August 9th ammunition depot destruction is one strike among many. Each successful Excalibur employment reinforces threat, makes Russian logistics planning more conservative, creates operational friction. The cumulative effect exceeds sum of individual strikes. That's force multiplier effect from precision capability. Ukrainian forces continue employing Excalibur selectively. Ammunition constraints tighten targeting criteria. Only highest value targets justify $112,000 rounds. But even reduced employment maintains pressure. Russian forces can't assume any rear area is safe. Must maintain dispersed logistics posture. Must accept efficiency costs. The strategic shaping continues. Subscribe to MilFront. Because in modern warfare, precision isn't just about hitting targets. It's about changing how enemy operates. Forcing adaptations. Imposing costs. Creating operational friction that degrades capability beyond direct destruction. Excalibur demonstrated this principle clearly. One shell. One depot. Systemic impact on Russian logistics operations. Cost exchange ratio 107.1.
But real ratio includes forced adaptations, dispersal costs, transportation overhead,
reduced efficiency. When factoring all impacts, ratio is far higher. That's strategic value of precision warfare, not just what you destroy, what you force enemy to change to avoid being destroyed. If you think precision will completely replace mass fires in artillery, type MilFront in the comments. If you think conventional artillery remains essential regardless of precision capability, tell me why. Because that debate shapes future procurement, shapes doctrine, shapes how militaries structure artillery forces. For now, hybrid model prevails. Precision for critical targets, mass for everything else. Ukraine demonstrates this works. Excalibur strikes high-value targets. Conventional artillery suppresses areas. Together they're more effective than either alone. That's current state of artillery evolution. Not fully transitioned, but trending toward precision, where economically justified. Real battles, real tactics, real consequences. Stay informed.